quack, 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 quack. Welcome to the franchise.
Wow.
Almost
thought we lost you.
Welcome. It's the D-Train, Daniel Ehrenberg. Not a great name, granted. There are some all-time classic character names in The Mighty Ducks, which is the movie we're covering today. I'm talking about Gordon Bombay. I'm talking about Charlie Conway. Right on the tip of my tongue. Here we go. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. This is Henry Papali. We're the franchise, and we're talking about The Mighty Ducks.
Welcome, everyone. Lo and behold, it is episode 163.
Fuck, really? I thought I had this down.
He dropped down.
All right,
man.
whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, this is
we're
primed for a classic episode of the franchise. All right, this is what we like to do here. Well, this is what I like to do here, okay? We're talking about an early 90s children's sports movie.
Yes, this very much is in Daniel's wheelhouse. Were this a mid to late 80s adult sports movie, we'd be more in my wheelhouse.
If you visited my wheelhouse, it would pretty much have the Mighty Ducks playing on a 24-hour loop, baby.
Wow. Okay.
All right, now I might be overstating things a little bit. I saw this movie as a kid, and I loved it. I saw all three in theaters, but I have not watched them since I was a child, nor have I had any inkling to.
Is that right?
Yes.
I'm already surprised. I did not know that.
Oh, huge. And I'll tell you what, I watched these a lot as a kid, so nothing was new to me. I remembered all of this.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
But it was still exciting because, I remembered the feeling of watching this movie. It made me feel that way again.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I was thinking when I was watching it, it came out in 92. So I think had it come out maybe 3 or 4 years before, it probably would have been that type of movie for me. But at that point, I was 14. Hockey wasn't my favorite sport anyway. But I never saw it.
I'm looking at it now, 1992. I didn't get into hockey until 93 because I remember 93 to 94. That was the first time. Okay, so hockey's my favorite sport. I never talk about sports on the podcast, so let me talk about it a little bit. Hockey's my favorite sport. My dad got me into the Rangers during the 1993 to 1994 season. They went on to win the Stanley Cup, which was very, very exciting because I was freshly into the sport and my guys won. And then, that led me to believe that's a thing that happens, but it hasn't for the rest of my life.
Oh, I think I can relate. Is that like the 86 Mets for me?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So I'm looking at the date now, Mighty Ducks. Maybe I saw this bad boy on video. Maybe D2 was the first one I saw in theaters because I don't think I would have cared until D2 came out.
Okay.
Yeah. But I definitely watched this a lot. I remembered shit Hans was going to say.
Wow. All right, sure.
I've got a lot to say about Hans.
The classic lines.
Yeah, all the classic lines. Goldberg, you fucking farted, bro. I remember it all.
Yeah, Hans from Lethal Weapon 2.
Joss Ackland, is that actor's name?
That's right. Ackland, whatever.
What is he in Die Hard 2? Is he just like a henchman?
Actually, he's not in Die Hard 2. As I said, he's in Lethal Weapon 2.
Excuse me.
And he's a South African bad guy.
Right. The South Africans. Ooh, Lethal Weapon 2. That was the best one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think I said the first one was, but the second one's awesome.
Yeah, you're incorrect. It's that second one. Right. I still say, if that comes up in conversation, Lethal Weapon, I'll go ahead and recommend that second one to people. Before I would recommend the first.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't think that's a particularly controversial thing to say. I think I wouldn't even go really against it, although I probably would, because I think you need to get to know Riggs and Murtaugh a little more in the first one, but not a little more. You got to be introduced, but sure.
All right, so in this, well, no, I get that. It has to be established or whatever. But anyway, we're talking about the
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks. All right, get these gun movies out of here. It's puck time, baby.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
There are no guns in this movie. Not a
There-
single one.
I don't think there are. No.
Yeah, I loved it. There's drunk driving, though.
Yeah,
dog
sure
shit.
is.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
And a lot of ball shots.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Testicles, not like balls, because they play with pucks in hockey.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, Henry, this movie stars Emilio Estevez, the third best Sheen, and we ranked his many films.
Yeah. Oh, this is a weird ranking.
It is a weird ranking. Emilio Estevez, man, how do you feel about this guy? He's like everybody's fifth favorite member of the Breakfast Club. And
it's weird. I feel Emilio Estevez. I feel like he's, and this is true. He's been around all my life, but I've barely. His presence is just not that. He's just not around. I look.
He
through
takes
filmography.
years between projects. I think he can rest on his laurels, man. He's not like Charlie Sheen's. Like, I want to be in a sitcom that's going to run for 12 years. Emilio Estevez is like, I want to direct an indie every 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, short story. I like Emilio Estevez. I don't really know why. He seems like an affable guy. I've pretty much only really liked maybe 2 movies he's ever been.
Oh, he's got some good ones, man. I'm okay with my list.
I mean, I'm not okay with mine, but there is only 1 movie, or 2 movies, I should say, that I actually love. I mean,
yeah, there's only 1 movie that I love, but I would rewatch all but maybe 3 of these.
I might be able to go along with that. We'll see what happens here.
All right, let's talk about him. Emilio
Estevez.
What is that from? What? No. Well, I was referencing some. Emilio. What is that?
I don't know. Is it from?
I want to say I might be making a Night at the Roxbury reference or something.
Oh wow! If that's, then I'm not in on that. I'm sorry.
I have no idea. I feel like it's maybe a Will Ferrell thing.
Could be.
Anyway, let's talk about them. The Ducks. Emilio Estevez, in particular, our erstwhile Gordon Bombay. And how great is that name, Henry?
It's a pretty good.
How'd they come up with that?
I had I just thought of something this second when you asked that, and I had another idea before. But are we not ranking his movies?
No, we are. I just wanted to say what a great name that is. And I also wanted an excuse to say something that occurred to me today, Henry. Mindhunter, we love it. The Netflix show. I want to put down a nominee for best character name in television history.
Well, they're recurring characters for the most part. So who would be the? I mean, you've already who?
Here it is. Bill Tench.
Oh,
Agent
yeah.
Bill Tench.
It's pretty alpha.
Come on. It's not even alpha. It just sounds like I'm a working man. Like, listen, I don't do anything flashy. I'm just Agent Tench.
Dude, and Holt McCallany, it just, oh my God. I mean, the haircut, the cheap suits, the constant drinking of whiskey and cigarettes. He's just fucking awesome.
He's one of the best. I think Mindhunter is maybe it might be the best show on Netflix.
I would have a hard time.
I mean, best show like that Netflix made.
That they make. Yeah, it's fucking great. It's awesome. I just finished season 2 today, and it's great. Both seasons are great.
All right.
And I mean, I kind of want to say more about it, but I don't want to get carried away.
Okay. How many Emilio Estevez movies do you have to rank here?
Okay. By the way, Gordon Bombay is a concoction of Gordie Howe and Bombay Sapphire Gin.
Is that true?
No, but I
buy it.
I thought of Gordie Howe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gordon.
Yeah.
That's a hockey name.
Right. And I
But
thought
why Bombay? Where'd they come up with
that just
is that a
occurred to me.
country?
It's a city in India. Yes.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm stupid.
That's all right, man. I'll let you slide. No,
I was gonna. You know what I was gonna say after? Is that a country? I was gonna say, is it an island?
Oh,
That's
stop. Well,
I said it. I said it. I wanted to say the stupid thing I was thinking. Okay.
that's all right. You wanted to double down on the stupid. No, the Bombay Sapphire Gin occurred to me after you had said, the drunk driving and where's the name come from? And I'm thinking, oh, there you go, Bombay Sapphire Gin. This is what gets him into the whole mess.
That's right.
Which, by the way, is never addressed ever again. But we'll get there.
What, the fact that he's a fucking drunk driver who it seems like this is something he does every day of his life, just openly drinking a beer while driving
on an icy Minnesotan road.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit, man. But he's at a down point in his life, Henry. We'll get to it. I've seen 16 Emilio Estevez movies.
Wow. I've seen 10.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
Those are things he directed.
I haven't seen any of his directed films. I know Martin Sheen's in one of them. I know one of them's about Bobby Kennedy.
Right. Ostensibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 16, I put down here D3, The Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
All right. Number 5, you will next week. Number 15, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
I did see that.
Yeah, it's funny at times. My number 14 is a porn movie that he made with his brother. That's true. And it's called Rated X.
Okay. I hadn't heard of that when I saw that listed.
My number 13 is D2, The Mighty Ducks.
These are low.
Yeah.
All right.
My number 12 is Francis Ford Coppola's The Outsiders. It's a little bit better than D2, The Mighty Ducks.
All right, and I didn't see it.
And my number 11, a little bit better than The Outsiders, is Maximum Overdrive.
Ooh, all right. I did see it. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the top 10. And what's your lowest ranked Estevez film?
I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theater, and I haven't seen it since. I believe that it sucks. I could be wrong. Loaded Weapon 1.
Okay. Yeah, it was on TV a lot as a kid. You get that young Sam Jackson. There's things to like in that.
Yeah, sure.
My number 10 is Another Stakeout.
I've never seen that. I've been wanting to cover the Stakeout movies for a very long time, as you know.
All right, let's do it next.
Fine with me. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right, good. I'm writing that you said that. No, I'm just... all right, number 9, a movie that... Very strange movie endeavor he did called Bobby. He directed it. And it's not really about Bobby Kennedy. It's about every employee working in the Ambassador Hotel the night he was shot. Very strange movie. Having said that, when I watched it, I wasn't really that knowledgeable at the time or that interested in Bobby Kennedy, which may be a surprise. So maybe a rewatch would be in order, but I recall it being very dull and pedestrian.
I think you gotta rewatch. That's gonna do a double feature of Bobby and Chappaquid, and you'll be loving life.
Chappaquid is bad.
My number 9 is a movie we covered on the podcast, Young Guns 2.
Yes, okay, we sure did.
Is that the one? Is he in old age makeup at the beginning of that movie?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I don't remember much from that movie.
Oh,
number 8. This could change, actually, now that I'm looking at this, but for now, it's fine. Number 8, The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that's where I have it too.
Oh, weird.
He's been in some good movies.
All right.
Number 7.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yep, great. My number 7 is Young Guns.
My number 6 is Young Guns 2.
My number 6 is Stakeout.
Okay.
Heavy hitters.
I don't have Stakeout on my list because that's one of those movies that just escapes my memory. I just don't know if I ever saw the first one. So
Sure.
You-
I
you
had to
seen it
seek
for
it
sure?
out. I very distinctly remember another Stakeout was on Comedy Central a lot as a kid, and I saw that first. And then I found Stakeout. It wasn't even at my regular Blockbuster. It was like a bigger one that I went to sometimes.
Fucking funny. All right, so my number 6 was Young Guns 2. Your 6 was what?
Stakeout.
All right, here we go, folks. Here we go.
Heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap
The
shots,
slap shots.
the touchdowns,
The knuckle pucks. The flying V's.
to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Young Guns.
Judgment Night.
Yeah, didn't see it.
Great.
Number 4, biased for the music, but a fucking classic piece of shit. Very watchable. Wish we could cover it. Maximum Overdrive.
Great stuff. My number 4 is overrated, but it is a bit of a cult classic and worth watching for a really good Harry Dean Stanton performance, and that is Repo Man.
I've always wanted to see Repo Man.
Oh, you've never
Yeah.
seen Repo Man? That's worth
I
watching.
don't believe so, and believe it or not, I have seen the remake.
I don't think that is a remake, dude.
They changed like a big part of what the fuck it is they do for a living, I believe. But yeah, the Jude Law, Forrest Whitaker thing.
I think that's an unconnected movie.
I don't think that's right.
Someone let us
I
know
don't
on
know.
Twitter at Pod Franchise.
Did they really have the balls to call it Repo Man? It's totally different.
It happens, man. There's movies
Yeah.
like that
Oh,
out
that's
there.
true. This is very true. All right, number 3. I like this movie very much. He directed this, starring his dad, the great Martin Sheen, and that is The Way.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
My number 3, St. Elmo's Fire.
Okay. My number 2 is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have the same 2 and 1. That's my number 2, and your number 1?
The one that started it all, The Breakfast Club.
The one that started it all for Emilio. Actually, I think Repo Man's first.
Well, sure, but like, I mean, when I think of Emilio Estevez, honestly,
Oh, you think he got launched into the stratosphere the second he screamed and that fucking window broke? That was it. We were an Emilio country.
Anyway, it is my favorite movie of Emilio Estevez.
Same. So, Mighty Ducks, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
This movie came out October 2nd, 1992, right at the beginning of hockey season, baby.
Oh man, he's pumped. Yeah.
Yeah. It was directed by Stephen Herrick, who we just talked about.
Yeah. What does he do? What did he do now?
So his debut film, of course, was Critters.
Right. Yep.
Yep. He followed that up with Bill and Ted's, then Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and The Mighty Ducks was his 4th film.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Is that weird? That's weird how that happened. That was unintentional.
Yeah. That was sort of his last youth well, no, last for a while anyway, because after that he made Three Musketeers and Mr. Holland's Opus. I think that was like his play at like serious cinema.
Of course. Absolutely. He succeeded. He got Dreyfus an award.
Did he?
Nomination.
He got nominated for something for that?
I'm pretty sure Dreyfus got a Best Actor nomination.
No.
Oscar.
I don't
out.
believe it.
Check it out.
I refuse to believe it. You're fucking right.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
That's bonkers. Like, I like that movie, and that's bonkers.
Yeah, it was a big deal, that fucking movie. I remember hating it, not seeing it, and hating it for all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There you go.
It was written by a fella named Stephen Brill, who is still working today. Now, Brill, I think, like, went to school with Judd Apatow. He's one of these guys that, like, lived with Judd Apatow for a while.
Oh, all right, sure.
Yeah. He works with Adam Sandler a lot. He sort of found his lot in life there. And, Mighty Ducks was one of his first scripts. He was apparently like a fledgling writer. He wrote the Mighty Ducks just like in his apartment on his typewriter. And
Wow.
And he got it made into a movie. He actually hasn't written that much. Like, he's more known as a director.
and he's been an actor in quite a few
Oh,
things.
that's
even-
just like cameos
right,
and Adam
side
Sandler
stuff,
shit.
right.
But yeah, he went on. He directed Heavyweights, which Apatow co-wrote. That's that Fat Camp movie. And
sounds good,
he with Sandler, he did Little Nicky, he did Mr. Deeds. He's working on a lot of his Netflix shit now, including his most recent stand-up special.
Now, he played the character in this movie called Frank Huddy. Who is that character in this movie?
I don't remember. I think he was only in like one scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's too bad. All right. I wanted to know who he was.
All right. Sorry, bro.
Thought you were like,
I'll tell you a fun fact. In the movie Big Daddy,
Yeah.
at one time he takes the kid trick or treating, and there's a guy who like won't come to the door because he's on the phone, and
Right.
then they like prank him.
Yeah.
That's him.
Thanks for the clarification. Now
I don't know if you
exactly-
remember the specifics of Big Daddy or not.
I don't remember anything about Big Daddy because it was never seen with thine eyes.
I've seen it like probably 7 times.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Sure. Not.
Okay, Mighty Ducks. Let's see. It came a budget of $10 million. Pretty good sized budget for 1992. This is a Disney release.
You know, these budgets always impress me with, we've come across this before, perhaps with Major League and Rocky. These sports movies are able to pull these movies off with not a whole lot of money. And I'm always
They get one hockey arena. They fill it with the
guess.
same people over and over again.
I guess it just impresses me. I don't know if I should be impressed, but I find that impressive because there's a lot going on to direct a sports movie.
Well, I think Herrick did a good job, man. He's worked with on low budgets with like effects before. He did Critters and Bill and Ted. And I think in this movie, this is like an easy flick for him. He's shooting mainly on location in Minnesota, a lot of outdoors, and when we're indoors, we're usually in a fucking hockey arena.
He's kind of like you and me. He does a lot with very little.
Speak for yourself. I got a lot.
Mm-hmm. You're a rich man. Yeah, you know how to budget. We learn how to budget, paycheck to paycheck, folks. That's Stephen Herrick for you.
That's right. That's right, Henry. This movie made $50.7 million at the box office. It came in at number 31 for the year between Sneakers and Malcolm X. It made a little bit more than Malcolm X.
That's great.
All right.
That's really great. I thought you were going to say a little tidbit about the film that, I had completely forgotten about, but of course I actually did know, was that there was a actual hockey team named after this team.
This movie, right. So that's
pretty big.
That coincided with D2. They made D2 to like help promote the hockey team. But and in that movie the Ducks get new jerseys and they're the same jerseys as the hockey team.
Okay.
It's funny how much the NHL changed between Mighty Ducks and D2 in only 2 years. Because in this first Mighty Ducks movie, it's like they go to meet like hockey players at one point, and
Sure
it's
do.
fucking Mike Modano, and they're on the Minnesota North Stars. And by the time D2 came out, there was no team in Minnesota. They moved to Dallas and became the Dallas Stars.
Holy shit.
And they go, at one point, they go to a hockey game. Like, Gordon Bombay takes the team to see, an NHL game.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking Minnesota North Stars versus the Hartford Whalers.
What happened to them?
They moved to Carolina and became the Hurricanes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, none of the teams in this movie fucking existed 5 years later.
That's so funny, man, because to me, I lived a good part of my childhood in Canada, and so hockey was huge, and I knew all those 80s hockey teams. So to me, it was like, oh, Minnesota North Stars, of course. No other thought,
Right.
Same with Hartford Whalers, sure.
Yeah, you're like, when are the Quebec Nordiques going to show up?
Absolutely, of course,
Yeah.
naturally. Carolina. What are we doing? All right.
Hey, they're a good squad. You know what's funny is You want to hear a fun fact?
Always.
Joshua Jackson's in these movies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. No, so Joshua Jackson.
That would have been great. That's your fun fact. Yeah.
Joshua Jackson was later in a television program called Dawson's Creek, which shot in Carolina.
Oh.
Okay, but took place in Massachusetts. And there's one episode directed by Joshua Jackson
Oh, God.
where they go onto an ice rink, okay? And then they walk away. The show, the whole episode ends with a long shot of them on this ice rink, and it has the fucking Carolina Hurricanes logo in the middle of the rink. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're supposed to be in Massachusetts.
Oh.
It's a big fuck up.
Oh, boy.
And I blame Joshua.
I would, too.
Yeah, you got to paint that Bruins logo on there.
Oh, my. Bruins fans must not have been happy about that episode because they were big Dawson's Creek fans.
Everyone that's a big fan of the Boston Bruins also is a big fan of Dawson's Creek. That's well known.
Obviously.
Yeah. Because the team loves it. Like Cam Neely. He was really rooting for Dawson to get together with Joe. He was not happy when Pacey showed up in the picture.
All right. He's just going to go, folks. I can feel it.
Feel it. Okay. I don't know. Do you want to do the 1992 lists?
Yeah, let's do it. We did it recently for
We did it like 100 times
Critters.
recently.
Yeah. Well, we have new listeners every week.
Oh, you're going to treat this like comic books. Every issue is somebody's first, right?
How do we know it's not?
I guess we don't. There might be some people that are like searching Mighty Ducks on IMDb.
No,
Not IMDb. I meant iTunes.
We had I saw the Twitter. There's somebody who was asking how to get the podcast on an Android for his friend. So this could be that friend's first episode. There you go.
Great call, bro.
We might have a new listener in Beijing ever since we had Whale Falls Aaron Farinelli on here.
Good point. They're Beijing's top post-rock outfit, I hear.
You have no idea who's listening to us.
All right. What's your number 10 from 1992?
Damage.
Oh, okay. Mine is Batman Returns.
Number 9, Basic Instinct.
Number 9, Glengarry Glen Ross.
Number 8, Reservoir Dogs.
Number 8, Night Upon the Earth.
Is that like Werner Herzog's pronunciation of that movie?
I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm gonna amuse myself. Okay.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I do the same?
Go ahead.
Okay. I kick your brother's ass. I'll kick your fucking ass. Number 7 is Hoffa.
My number 7 is at the very top of the Twin Peaks. Why don't you go ahead and firewalk with myself? Go ahead.
Oh, that's pretty good. I don't know if it can beat this, though. My number 6, I have a theme song for. Can you beat
that? Oh, God. What is it?
It's right here.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
A Few Good Men.
Good stuff. Great stuff. My number 6 is very, very naughty police officer.
That is a good movie, A Naughty Police Officer from 1992. The number 5 heavy hitter. Always be closing. Glengarry Glen Ross.
My number 5 is Playa. Go ahead.
I would like to interject at this particular moment. Number 4 would be husbands and wives.
Great impression. My number 4 is Unforgiven.
My number 3, Fight the Power. Malcolm X.
What? That's not a Malcolm X reference.
It's a Chuck D reference, motherfucker.
Yeah, from a different movie, bitch.
I don't care. Public Enemy is all over.
You're weirding me out. My number 3 is, Resi Pups.
My number 2 is Stay Alive. I will find you.
What is
The Last
that?
Mohicans.
What?
The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, okay. My number 2 is, Husbands and Wives, whatever.
And the number 1 movie of 1992 is Ain't Got Nothing to Do with Deserve. Unforgiven.
My number 1 is I've Been Had. I've Been Took. I've Been Led Astray. Malcolm X.
Oh, I thought you were quoting Bon Scott for a minute. You've been had, getting took, getting lead off, broken ball.
He might have been ripping off Malcolm X.
I think Malcolm was dead by that point, but yes. I like that. I would like to give honorable mention to Naughty Police Officer, having been possibly my favorite rendition of that movie.
Okay. Yeah, great stuff. That movie. Keitel, baby. Show me that dick. All right, okay. Mighty Ducks. This is a film about Gordon Bombay, one of the most creatively named men in the world. And he is a very young hockey player. He wants to be in the NHL. He's on the local champs, the Hawks, baby. And it's third period in the championship game. And we're watching this in sort of a soft focus, slow-mo, baby, with just a spotlight on a kid on the ice.
Black and white, nonetheless.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that opening. He goes and he shoots the puck, and it hits the post, and then the evil coach comes, and he's like, "You son of a bitch, you prevented us from winning." Dude, I'll tell you what, I'll lay this movie out right here, Gordon. This game is not about having fun. It is about winning, and you should live your life looking at the world that way.
Yeah.
And thusly, Bombay did. He quit hockey and became a humorless lawyer.
I wouldn't say humorless. He's got quite a sense of wit. I mean, I like the way I could have stayed in the courtroom with him for a little bit. I maybe interrogate Jack Nicholson for a bit. I liked how he won his case over the judge by citing the judge's own case.
Yeah. That was great.
Paying attention.
No, I was. That was good. You know, it was like right out of a fucking episode of L.A. Law or something. Yeah. But like, that's all right.
There you go.
Bombay, yeah, attorney at law.
Maybe nobody says his name right, and it's sort of a Nick Curran situation. Speaking of '92, and it's just like Gordy Bombay, like Gordon Bombay.
Well, let me put another Gord on the Bombay.
Yeah. Ooh, now that Goldie on the Bombay.
It's funny that even in 1992, you can see that Martin Sheen fathead emerging out of Emilio Estevez's neck.
It's true.
I feel like the Sheens, they're like that, the Tony Shalhoub character in Men in Black. Like at a certain point, their heads get shot off and they come back fatter.
Oh, man. I see your case with Martin and Charlie. I didn't really ever see that with
Emilio. Look at Emilio now.
Does he look bad?
He doesn't look bad. He just looks like Martin.
Oh, okay. No, sure. Ramon Estevez. No.
Is that his real name, Ramon?
That's Martin Sheen's.
Why didn't he keep that? That's a great name.
He was trying to make it in Hollywood in the early 70s. Probably wasn't going to happen with Ramon Estevez.
You might be right. Yeah, he probably couldn't have gotten that role as like a blue-collar dad in Wall Street. Well, he could have, nepotism.
By that point, maybe, but I don't know if he would have gotten, Apocalypse Now or Badlands,
Yeah, probably not Badlands.
He would have landed a nice role in a Cheech and Chong movie, but that's probably about it. Or maybe one of Dirty Harry's, victims in a liquor store robbery.
Sure. He could have, raped one of Charles Bronson's family members.
That's right. He would have gotten those roles,
Yeah. All right, listen. So Gordon, he's driving home from the Christmas party or something. I don't remember. And
he actually is celebrating because he's won 30 cases. So it's actually a happy time for him.
oh, that's
And
right.
He decides on an icy road, doesn't want to wait till he gets home. Crack that beer open.
Yep,
Wants to,
gets a cold one out, baby. Oh.
in a snowstorm, in a car.
Excuse me, I need to warm up a little bit. Let me throw this down my gullet.
In downtown Minneapolis. Probably not a good idea. Gets pulled over immediately.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I would say he's had more than half a swig because he already is slurring his words.
Listen, he's drunk from the party.
Right.
He's just having, this is like fucking, I had a
Nightcap.
great time at the game. Now I'm going home. Nightcap, baby. Yeah. So he shoves this beer down his throat, but gets pulled over. And, he is sentenced to coaching a hockey team. It's like the
Because
fucking
that
fake
happens.
pilot on Seinfeld where he has to be that guy's butler.
Oh, all right.
I like movies where, like, judges are like, you know what? Instead of putting this guy in jail or giving him community service, I'm going to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, no AA for you, pal.
Yeah, that's a
Just-
good point. He should be in, like, forced to go to, like, outpatient recovery.
No, nothing. Coach a hockey team.
Coach
I
a
mean,
hockey
you'd-
team.
Be like, wait. You mean I don't, my license, I'm okay? Like you're taking away my license for a little bit and I just coach some people? Yeah, all right. That sounds fair. I'm in.
All right, let's go through the hockey team. There's so many great players to go through. Let's start right away with that little Jew who does Rob Schneider references the whole movie.
Yeah. What's his name again? Don't remember.
I want to say
but
Arverson.
something like that. I want to say that I was doing the same thing at that age.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate actually. He's
Very
all
accurate.
playing hockey.
Lester Averman. There you go.
Is that his name? Do you know the actor's name?
Matt Doherty.
He's not
Oh,
one
very,
that's
very-
been in other shit. There's a bunch that have.
I mean, he was. Oh wow! You ready for this?
Sure.
I had looked at this on my superhero count, but I forgot about this little fact. So it is Averman, as you say. So he was okay. And so I
Oh,
married
he's
an-
the giant head.
hit.
Yeah.
Robert hit.
He'll cry himself to sleep on that big pillow of his.
He'll cry himself to sleep on his huge pillow,
Yeah.
which is one of the best parts of that movie.
Probably the best
and-
scene in the movie.
I think you're right. And there you go. That's him. There you go.
Okay. Who else we got? Bro?
Well, we have another Jewish gent covering goalie, and that would be Goldberg.
Yeah, they say he's Jewish. He doesn't look too Jewish to me, but his name is Goldberg. This is a young actor who was in a lot of stuff at the time. He came back for that Fat Camp movie, of course. And he's pretty good. He's apparently a real bad low-bottom alcoholic these days.
I'm looking at that right.
Can you see his fucking his mugshot?
Ooh,
Google his mugshot.
All right, do that.
This
right now.
is rough. This is rough, and I want all you out there in listener land to do the same. Goldberg for the Mighty Ducks mugshot. Did you see
Not
it?
What I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say, I want you all to support people with. Oh my God!
Yeah, he's not looking good.
No way. That's unreal.
Yeah, there's a listener who clued me into this. I want to thank him, but yeah,
It's only 25 years ago. He was this fat, chubby kid.
I know.
Oh, he doesn't look long for this world.
No, he's got to get sober now. All right. Who else we got, Henry? You call him out.
I can't. How am I supposed to recover from that? Okay. Sober now.
There's a girl on the team.
Yeah, God, I'm afraid to read her page.
No,
but
she's doing just fine, dude. She was the female lead in Wet Hot American Summer.
So she's okay. That's
Marguerite Moreau, a very fine poor man's Linda Cardellini.
Okay. Yeah, a very beautiful woman and a pretty good actor.
No, she's totally fine, and she's good in this and remained good as an adult.
Good.
All
That's
right.
good.
Who else we got?
We got Fulton Reed, clan.
Hang on. Let's these players who join the team later through Gordon Bombay's creative machinations. Let's get to later.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So let's get to my. We can hit probably, and I'm open to change here, but I'd like to change I'd like to say he's my LVP.
Oh,
and that is the kid in the leather jacket. Is that Peters? Is he the Ralph Macchio wannabe?
I'll tell you what. He's the only one on the team that I had no memory of, and he has like a lot of lines.
He features quite prominently.
So I'm sort of with you. Yeah, he's like a fucking newsie on this team.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, hey, Gordon Bombay, what do you know about hockey?
Yeah, he's sort of like he should be in like the first hour of Once Upon a Time in America.
And he's like walking around in a Fonz coat, and he's like 3'2", and he's got a sheriff's badge on him. I don't know what's happening.
All right, I'll stand by that. I like him as LVP.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Who else you got? You got you got Josh Jackson.
Joshua Jackson. He's probably like the main kid in this movie. Charlie Conway. Now, Charlie Conway, it comes from a broken home. He's got a mom played by an unassuming woman. What's her name?
Yeah, she is. I have to say,
not
she
the
really
most memorable.
No, she really is unassuming. That's a good word. I believe that actress is that Heidi Kling?
Yeah, she looks like she could have been like,
the mom in anything.
No, I was gonna say she could have been the casting assistant on this movie, and they just like forgot to cast that role, and they were like, "Oh, you do it."
Script supervisor.
Yeah.
She's
just like a frizzy-haired mom. You'd expect to see her as like the fifth lead on Caroline in the City.
There you go. Yeah, I wanted to like her.
She's
wanted
not
to see...
even bad. She's just like, you got the raw animal sexual magnetism of Emilio Estevez in this movie. You need somebody that can match that.
Doesn't really. She's got that longitudinal early 90s female haircut. It's just...
and it's frizzy.
Grow it out. Come back later.
I don't know about that. I was thinking maybe go real short with it.
Here you go. Well, that'd be way ahead of the times.
Yeah.
But, still, it's fine.
So, Charlie Conway is like desperate for this woman to get laid, first of all. Like, sometimes kids like from a broken home are like happy to be with like the single mom. It's just us. We have a nice life together,
Yeah, it's true.
But this kid is like, please fuck my mom.
Yeah, almost.
Take that dick out. Come to my house, all right? In the master bedroom, my mom will be waiting. And you have your way with her, Coach Bombay.
Please, yes. In the words of Jimmy Durante, take my mom, please.
Good one. So Bombay shows up to coach the team, right? He's got a driver. The law firm set him up with a driver played by MC Gainey.
Love him.
Yeah, the great character actor MC Gainey. I think we're gonna have to take your boy. Do you know what that's a reference to?
Nope.
That is MC Gainey kidnapping Walt at the end of the first season of Lost.
Holy shit. I mainly remember MC Gainey as Swamp Thing from Con Air.
Oh, great stuff there, too. But he's still around. This guy's great.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And he's good. He could play a heavy. He could play like a vulnerable guy. He's good actor. In this, he's just like a dude with a mustache who's like driving and yapping.
That's a guy who can just clearly live as long as he deems fit. You know, I imagine the amount of bourbon and cigarettes he has consumed in his life.
MC Gainey?
Yeah.
He could just be a great actor. Maybe he's been sober for 50 years.
I don't think that is at all accurate.
I bet you it is.
You think he's just he's straight edge?
I think MC Gainey's fucking straight edge, bro.
Yeah. All right, sure.
All right, let's see what the IMDb. We're gonna look at the IMDb trivia. Okay, he's
Connor Gainey.
The first thing it says is he's a huge fan of jazz music and regularly attends the New Orleans Jazz Festival. Okay, he's not sober.
Awesome.
Also, his given name is Mike Connor, which is in memory of the first Irish governor of Mississippi, his home state.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, he's way not sober. All right, whatever, but he's great.
Yeah.
All right, who else we got? Oh, so Bombay, he shows up and he makes Gainey drive him onto the ice, and he immediately freaks the kids out, and Charlie's mom takes him out of hockey.
Yeah, I mean, and I just want to say, you could go through every fucking player, but that's going to take all show. But we should mention one very special actor.
Who?
Oh, Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, he's in there. He doesn't have like a huge role, but there's like 2 black kids on the team, and he's the one with less lines.
There you go.
Yeah, they sprout a third kid in the in this D2.
They sprout a third.
Yeah, they get Keenan in D2, so get ready for that.
And we're in the early 90s, so we shouldn't be saying stuff like this, but we're saying, that's right, we're calling things like the Oreo Trio and...
Oh, well, that's an interesting thing, dude, because when they first say... Okay, so there's a line on the team, the Oreo line, where the center is white and the 2 wingers are black. Okay, Get it? So the first time we hear it referred to as the Oreo line, it's before Bombay's even coaching the team. We see them in a game, and it's like the guys on the other team, the evil... By the way...
The center.
There is an evil team in this movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Hawks.
There has to be.
And they're fun. You know what they reminded me of? The fucking Slytherin from Harry Potter. Because there's a weird thing in this movie where they poach a player from the Hawks. This kid Banks, and it's because he's like not actually living in like Hawk territory, like the boundaries of where he lives.
Little political gerrymandering, folks.
Yeah, he should be a duck. So Bombay finds this out and poaches him for his squad. But like the team reacts like they don't react like, oh, we got this new player and he's great. They act like, oh my god, he's a fucking hawk. He's not a duck.
Right.
And Charlie has this like crisis of confidence at one point where he's like, I could have been a hawk. And it's like so what? You're children in a Pee-wee hockey league.
Well, they don't know that,
But that's what it seemed like. They got like fucking sorted by the sorting hat into these teams. And it's like everyone on the Hawks is known for their evil, and everyone on the Ducks is known for their courage and bravery.
It's very true. You're right about that. Yeah, I know. You're thinking like, take the guy. Just take him.
Please.
You're getting a great player.
Yeah. No. So Jussie Smollett, he's in this movie. I don't want to talk too much about him. He seems like a fucking idiot.
Fine with me. I just, I honestly don't.
Because I'm not even clear on what happened there. I mean, I don't
either.
He's a liar and a weirdo. I mean, it's a weird thing to do.
Very, very much so. Yeah, I had just never. I don't think I'd ever seen him in anything.
No, nor have I.
Really?
He got known for Empire. That was his big credit. So like,
that was 20 years later.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm sure I saw him in shit as a kid, but like, I'm honestly more familiar with his sister, Jurnee Smollett Bell.
Okay.
She was in like Friday Night Lights, and like when she was a kid, she was on Full House. So like, I've like seen her in way more shit.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the Bell family. They're like this weird showbiz family. I think they were. There was like a short-lived sitcom in the '90s where like there were like 4 Smollett kids. Like they were all in the show as siblings.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Jesus Christ. All right.
All right. So I don't know. Let's get into the plot a little bit. We could pick
Yeah.
up some people as we go along. So at first, when we meet the kids, they are collecting dog shit, and they've got a little scam going. So like they leave like a dollar bill, I guess,
Yeah,
like
right.
sticking
And
out of the bag of the dog shit. So they think. Like passerby might think it's a bag of money, but but you have to understand something. It's not a bag of money. It's a bag of dog shit.
Like a dog shit.
Yes.
You say scam. I say just prank.
Yeah, it's a prank.
Because they're not getting anything out of it except for chuckles.
The enjoyment of seeing them throw the dog shit out the window of their car after soiling their car with it.
And I get it.
Yeah, but this one guy runs after them after that, and this was my least favorite part of the movie, where we just do a straight fucking lift from Home Alone.
Oh, yeah.
They used like the same music, and they sped up the camera, so like everyone's running really fast, you know?
Yeah. Not a great moment. In the
Not
movie.
a good moment, but there's a pretty decent ball shot.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so we meet our team. You know, Goldberg farts. This kid does the Rob Schneider impersonation. Everyone's got like one character trait.
That's right. Right. Which is fair enough.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's how you make these sports movies.
The characters that like have actual character traits are Charlie and Banks, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd say. I mean, I don't even know if Banks has any character traits. I mean, what's his character trait? His dad?
He has like an arc though, yeah, where like he's like Gordon. I think
right. He's gonna turn out to be like Gordo if something doesn't happen.
Right. He's like losing his fervor to play hockey because all he cares about under this coach's regime is winning.
Yeah. Yeah. W.
Henry, I don't know if you've heard, but having fun out there is better than wanting to win all the time.
Now, it's been my experience in my association with sports as a participant that actually winning is very fun. So the two can go together.
It should be noted that Emilio says to the team, like, hey, if we win, that's great. But just have fun out there. And, you know.
I don't think I ever said those words to a teammate in my life.
Yeah, and I just don't believe Emilio in that moment.
No, he's clearly lying.
He's going through like a manic break at the end of this movie. There's one shot of Emilio Estevez during like the final game. So obviously they make it to the fucking finals and play the Hawks. But there's like a moment during that final game where they cut to Emilio on the bench, and I don't know if they asked him to ad-lib or something, but it's just Emilio Estevez going, more fun! More fun! And I was like, dude, are you having a panic attack? What the fuck is this? It seemed like some kind of a mental break.
Yeah, it really did. I think he's gone too far on the other end of the pendulum. About caring about winning.
Pendulum?
Yes.
Pendulum.
Remember, I've lived in many different places.
Oh, that's okay. We'll credit that.
I also say, are we running on schedule?
I love that. I remember I had a Russian friend who used to say, I'm going to go sit in the sauna.
There you go.
That always made me laugh.
I was actually, brought up hearing schedule all around me. Yeah.
I want to talk about Hans, Henry.
Let's talk about Joss Ackland.
He's an important secondary character in this movie. Now, he seems to be sort of a guru when it comes to Pee-wee hockey.
It's true. He's a little Shiva of hockey for kids.
He runs a sporting goods store that looks like a fucking mansion.
It does.
Like,
actually.
seriously, there's one shot of Emilio Estevez walking up to the sporting goods store, and it looks like fucking Doc Brown's mansion from Back to the Future.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And then he like goes through the screen door. It's almost like, what do you think, a Marty McFly type thing going on here?
That's right. So he gets in there, and Hans like doesn't even look at Emilio. He's like, "I knew it was you."
Yeah.
And
Playing a Scandinavian.
yeah, and you know, Gordon Bombay has not stepped foot in this store since he was like 11 years old. and Hans is just like, "I sense Gordon Bombay in my midst."
Right.
And Gordon's like, "Yeah, it's me." And Hans helps him like rediscover his love of hockey. And there's like a long stretch of movie where really Hans's only scenes are with Gordon. And I legitimately was sitting there thinking, did I forget something about this movie? Is Hans some sort of hockey ghost?
Oh.
I was starting
Yeah.
to think he was a fucking ghost, and
Right.
he was
Right.
like, you know, fucking Emilio's coach from like before he was on the evil team when he still had a
Ooh.
love of hockey. And I thought like Hans was like coming back like as a ghost to like teach him how to love hockey again.
Wow.
And then he was gonna like bring the kids to the sporting goods store, and it was gonna be like empty.
Ghost coach.
Yeah, that's what I was
Wow.
thinking. But he's not.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but
that
that's
really
not the
would've-
case.
Yeah. Although had that been the case, then nobody would have ended up with any good equipment and yada yada yada. So,
Right,
but
right.
that
He
still
sets
would've
up the team with uniforms and equipment and shit. Because at first, in their first game, they're playing with like everyone just brought their own jerseys. It's very
been-
weird.
I don't know what this neighborhood is in Minnesota.
Well,
but,
Goldberg has established that he's from Philadelphia, so he's wearing a Philadelphia Flyers jersey.
right,
he's
and one of
new
them's
to
wearing a
Minnesota.
Montreal Canadiens shirt.
Oh, I didn't notice
so-
that.
Yeah, so he's from Montreal. So a lot of immigrants to the Minnesota area.
Well, Minnesota's up there near Canada, right? Maybe,
Yes.
maybe they came down. Those are
Just to play in a shitty hockey league.
yeah. They left Canada to play in a shitty hockey league.
District 5.
Ooh, I watched District 9 the other night, Henry. I hadn't seen it since theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I saw it once since, but and
Oh, it holds up great.
I thought it was really great.
It's
when I
actually
saw it.
very timely today with all
bet it
the
is. Fucking bet it.
immigration, nods or
Sure,
whatever.
you're right. Yeah, it was timely then. It's more timely now.
unfortunate, baby. Okay, what else you want to talk about?
Well, so it basically goes pretty by the numbers. We have a little romance, as you stated earlier. Emilio putting the moves on this girl. I thought there was a very funny moment that was poorly written, but gave me some pleasure. And that's when Emilio takes her out to see some ice sculptures. And she's describing, she's asking how they're made, how the ice sculptures are made, and she gives a throwaway line about how I used to sculpt, and
Yeah.
then that's over. And then she looks up at this castle, and she goes, "When I was a little girl, I used to dream of living in that castle." And then Emilio just says, a very innocent, kind of lovely, just I'd be right there with you, or something like that. It's like a nice, and she is so offended that she stops the conversation short and then just walks away. And she's like, "Don't do this."
That's not what happened in that scene, dude. You're misreading that. That's because this scene is all about Emilio comes in. He's a lawyer. He's been hit with a drunk driving charge. He doesn't want to coach this hockey team at first. Everyone is skeptical. He has to get the kids on his side. So
Yeah, all that's over by that point.
all that's over by that point, but I think the mom is still skeptical that this dude wants to be saddled with a lady who's no great shakes like herself,
Oh goodness!
who has like a growing boy in the house.
All of what you say is true, but what I'm saying was in the writing. I think that Brill just wanted to have that conflict come up, and he had a very funny, poor segue for it to happen.
I think
which
Brill
was-
nailed it. couldn't be better.
Turns on a dime on him. I was like, whoa, she got pissed real fast.
My favorite moment in the romance is when Charlie, they're at the diner together that the mom works at.
Yeah, that's another turn on a dime moment. Go ahead.
And they're, Charlie and Gordon are sitting together at the counter. And Charlie says, like, almost apropos of nothing, like, by the way, my mom's single and ready to mingle, baby. Yeah. And you think Gordon's going to be like, oh, Charlie, But Charlie responds like, Emilio responds like, hey, speaking of that, what sort of things does your mom like? Because I have been thinking about fucking her.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. He's all in and makes no bones about it.
He's like, it's funny you should say so.
It's funny you should say so. I've decided to be your dad, and I've been thinking about fucking your mom.
Speaking of which, Charlie, more orange juice.
Yeah.
Waitress. Oh, yeah, that's right. The woman I was interested in banging. Yes.
I'd like a chocolate milk and adoption papers for your son, please.
Casey, Carson, if you'll look in that muffin behind donut number 2 behind you in the casing, you will see a diamond ring.
Order up! Diamond ring!
Order up! Charlie's mom! Order up, Charlie mom! Proposal on line 2. He's answering the phones. The order up guy's answering line 2.
Good. Line 2. I
He
like
has
that
a
the
lot
diner
to
has
do.
2 lines.
There's a lot. It's only 2 lines. Kind of like the segues in this movie.
Ugh. All right, so yeah, he gets the kids to be better, and he starts recruiting players. Like I said, Banks from the other team. He gets a figure skater and her brother.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, I liked that. The brother is, of course, played by Danny Tamborelli, who
Meaning?
at the time was Little Pete from he's one of the Petes in the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yeah,
And
right.
so he was exciting to see. These days, he's like a gym rat with big muscles and tats living in New Jersey. So you might see him around on the street. If you see an angry short ginger, it just might be Danny Tamborelli.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'll keep an eye out.
Sure, but he's cute in this movie, and I like that. And we also meet, of course, Fulton Reed with Eldon Henson, or how is he credited in this movie?
Oh, that's right. He is credited as Eldon Henson.
No, he's not. That's wrong. The Wikipedia is wrong.
I think you're right.
He's
He
credited
had
as
three-
Eldon
right?
Eldon Ratliff in this movie, which is extra weird because his real life brother is also in this movie,
Oh,
and
I
he
see that.
uses Henson.
Weird. Garrett Ratliff Henson.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Eldon Henson, who he's the mighty, and he had a run there for a while. He's in She's All That. Now he's on well, not anymore, but he was Foggy on Daredevil.
Oh yeah, I think he's fine. Yeah.
He's doing great. He's having a very good career.
He's in the fucking Hunger Games, isn't he? Or what was he?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yes, he is.
He's in the
I knew
Hunger
I-
Games?
He's the guy who doesn't talk. Pollux.
Oh God, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Henson, he is in this movie, and he's like an older, stronger, like big, strong kid, like the bad boy. And this is the only time in his life Eldon Henson has been asked to play the bad boy in
That's
anything.
probably a very true point. Yeah, he would have been. I'm looking at him now. He would have been 15 years old at the time,
This is the best he ever looked.
and he is in this movie playing with a bunch of 11-year-olds. Some
Yeah,
shit like
he
that
never
for
grew
him.
past that. He still has like a 15-year-old head.
Yeah, he does. He's got Andrew Garfield syndrome.
Yeah, he does, baby head. But yeah, he's good in this. I liked him. You know what's fucking weird though? In his like scene where he takes a slap shot and breaks the window of one of his Estevez's car,
Yes.
whatever. And he comes out, and Emilio Estevez is like, "Show me, do that again."
Right.
and he breaks a different window.
Well, because he's like, what about, the car? And he's like, never mind the car. Do it again.
But why didn't he just like point to a spot on a wall and was like, take a
Wants to
slap
see-
shot?
It wants to see his aim. man.
But he
Wants to see if
he sets up a little goal, right?
Yeah.
Directly in the line of fire in the car. Eldon Henson says, I only make 1 out of every 5 shots. Emilio Estevez is like, go anyway. He breaks another window, and Estevez is like, you're on the team.
Yeah, it's true. And needless to say, Gordon Bombay's reckless endangerment of MC Gainey's life in this sequence is troubling, too. Because you would imagine a slap shot of that nature hitting through shards of glass could have killed MC Gainey's character.
MC Gainey's life holds no meaning to Gordon Bombay.
This
in
is
movie.
very obviously
Every time
clear.
we
You're
see
right.
MC Gainey in
You're
this
right.
movie, Estevez is
in
like,
peril.
hey, stand in front of this slap shot. Hey, drive onto the ice.
You're right. You're right. He has. Maybe that's because he knows that MC Gainey is immortal, as I stated earlier in the show, and so he's not worried. At
Oh,
all.
you think he hears that voice? He's like, oh
Yeah.
my God. It's just
Yeah.
a fucking gravel road coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh yeah, Eldon, you can do anything you want to the driver. He can't die.
Yeah, Eldon. He was good in the. He develops a friend in the next movie. I thought that was in this one because they become the Bash Brothers,
Oh.
and I remembered that.
All right.
But that
Okay.
must be D2, man.
2.
D2. All right. Anything else you want to talk about in this movie?
Not really. I mean, they got their sponsorship from the lawyer, his boss, Gordo's boss. It's a little unresolved.
But then he turns on the law firm.
Oh yeah, he sure does.
Because the law firm's like, play fair, Bombay, give the Hawks back Banks. And
Right.
Bombay's like, fuck you, law firm. I
play
quit.
fair."
I need Banks on my little league hockey team.
Yeah, well, he teaches the teacher a lesson, right? He teaches his law firm man that he is actually not playing fair, and and this team. What does he say to him? He's like, "This, you may have your name on this team,
Right, because his name is Duckworth.
right? But it's not your team."
Yeah, you're not a fucking duck, man. If you
Yeah.
got sorted by the hat, you'd be in Slytherin.
That's right. I did like. I will say that his explanation, because the kids are understandably upset, at being the Ducks. I mean, that would have upset me.
What are you
too.
talking about? There are worse names for teams.
Of course, but listen, it's 1992. You always want to be named after like a predator or some kind of.
No,
cool-
you're right. You're right. I probably felt that way as a kid.
Oh, I know I did, and if you're gonna be, the fucking Ducks, and so then Emilio goes on a, very off the cuff, completely improvised explanation of why Ducks are cool. And
Well, you have to understand, kids.
I got
Rape is so prevalent in the duck community that they have evolved corkscrew assholes, so that when ducks try to rape other ducks, they can't penetrate the corkscrew shape of the. I actually think it is the duck vagina. You have to understand.
Where do you get this shit?
How do you not know that?
Is he asking the kids that? Or are you asking me that?
Both.
Okay. Yeah. I only know that ducks don't have control of their shitters like a lot of birds.
Mm-hmm.
Most birds, they just shit uncontrollably. He left that out.
Yeah,
but
so
that's
listen,
okay.
you kids, you're the ducks. You will never be raped.
And you will shit uncontrollably whilst on the ice.
Goldberg!
And that is why we need so much help on this team. Okay? So that's the gist of his pep talk. And it works. And by the end, they're like, yeah, it's cool to be a duck.
Right, so they power through the rest of these teams. They play the Hawks in the state champion. I mean, it's the state championships. There's like 8 teams in this league.
And like 3 games.
Yeah, I know. There really are. And Hans is like, you only need to not come in the last 2 places. And one team already forfeited the season. So if you win any amount of these next games, and it's like, yeah, whatever. So they make.
I like your Hans impression. It's almost like Marley's ghost from Sweden or
That's
something.
what it is like.
Like an Ingmar Bergman narrator. It's interesting. I like it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hans is like that dude in Wild Strawberries, just traveling the land so he could be, in this case, given a sporting goods store.
There you go. He got tired of playing chess with death. All right? Come on.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. So they fucking win the game, dude, and it's up to Charlie, okay? First of all, they unveil the Flying V in the final game, which is their signature rush move.
Yeah.
And so it comes down to a penalty shot, and Estevez is like, listen, I'm going to put the whole season on the line right now because surely I have to pick the kid whose mom I'm banging.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, and by the way, not very supportive teammates. Jesus, these are fair weather friends, you know.
Well, they want to win
like,
at this
what about
point.
Charlie, and they're like, what about him?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, because the smart thing to do is put out fucking Banks.
Well,
Let Banks
No, you
score on
can't.
his old
Banks
team.
gets a concussion.
Does he have a concussion? Oh, that's right. He gets checked real hard. You know, I thought the other team would want to like try and like make him cheat or something, but no. The second he like leaves that team, you're not in the fucking Slytherin house anymore. We're gonna fucking kill you.
Gotta love that too, because it reminded me of when I was a kid and played sports. No one fucking cared if you got hurt like that. This is very realistic. Nowadays, since kids are made of glass, that kid would be fucking no way. Like even earlier in the movie, there's a kid who gets like checked in the fucking head.
It's actually a fair point. Kids got fucked up when I was a kid.
Oh my god, I was a wreck, and
Yeah.
I loved it.
I used to play baseball. I'd play catcher, and I'd forget my cup. I've just got like a bare dick and balls under my pants, and I'm getting
That's when
pitched
kids
at
were
100
men.
miles per hour. I would tell my coach, like, I forgot my cup at home. He'd be
Get
like,
it now.
don't tell
Mark.
anybody. Yeah.
And I was a first baseman and a pitcher, and it'd be like, just pitch till your arm falls off. That's fine. You're fine. You're right. I'm fine. It's cool.
I saw you pitch till your arm fell off one summer.
You actually did.
Yeah.
Yes, I literally did. And yeah, but we were made of stronger stock. But that's for another time. But yeah, now the kids are made of glass. No, but
Oh, everyone's made of glass now. It's not just kids, man. I'm losing my fantasy baseball team this year because of injuries, and it's always just like, I need to sit down for 2 weeks. My ankle's bothering me.
I have to have Tommy John surgery.
There are no bigger pussies than professional athletes.
I couldn't agree more. You know what, Daniel? Tommy John surgery. Tommy John didn't exist when I was following baseball. It
No.
didn't exist. Now, either there's been some evolution in the human body over the last 20 years, or people just became pussies. Yeah.
All right, we're starting to sound like Joe Rogan here. Let's quit it.
That could happen with us. Listeners don't get to hear us talk about sports very often.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's not what I
Anyway.
meant. I just meant we're sounding very alpha.
Oh, so God forbid. Anyway, these kids are not made of glass. They're tough. And,
They're mighty.
They're mighty.
So Charlie, he makes the triple deke, which is the very same move that Gordon Bombay tried to pull all those years ago. All right? And it works this time. He scores the goal. Ducks win. And then we get a weird epilogue.
Yeah, because he's going to become a minor league hockey
That
player.
is crazy. First of all, we cut to a bus, and the team is lined up outside of the bus. And so I'm thinking, like, oh, they must be, like, going to nationals or something.
Right.
Right? But no, it's the team just loves Gordon Bombay so much that they want to see him off on his tryout to be a minor league hockey player.
He's getting a Greyhound.
Yeah. I know. He's got his little bag of equipment. And
Where's he going? Tom's River on that fucking 319? What are we doing here?
Oh, boy.
Jesus Christ.
And he kisses Charlie's mom, just so that we all know they're still together.
I hope that he at least got to have sex with her at some point.
Oh, you can. I took this to mean this is like a few months later. He finally.
Okay, good.
He quit his law firm job, and he's like, he's trying to think, what makes me happy? The most important thing in life is having fun. How do I have fun? I don't have any interest in being the best anymore. I want to do a thing where I have some fun. And so it's hockey. He loves hockey. He fucking loves it. He goes off to be a minor league hockey player, and he tells the Ducks, I'll see you next year.
Hockey, why did it have to mean hockey? Yeah, he has very high/low aspirations to be a minor league washed-up player, which I assume will come into very strong play in the second one. That's a guess, folks. We'll see if I'm right.
I don't remember it having anything to do with the next one.
Oh, I bet you he comes back all battered and bruised and has a line like, sometimes maybe dreams is just what they are.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember.
I feel like I'll be.
You could have written it, I think.
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I
So,
just did.
yeah, if I'm somebody in Gordon Bombay's life, what I'm asking him on his way to his minor league hockey tryout is, hey, buddy, how's your drinking? How's your drinking doing? How many are you having per day at this point?
If I'm on that bus, I'm going to be looking over at Gordon and asking, are you the new team lawyer? Is that what you are? You're the new team scout? Is that what you're doing on this bus? Because clearly you're 15 years too old to be doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, what do you give this fucking movie?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and have a soft heart for this middling film, and I'm going to give it a 3.
Henry, I love it. I love that you gave this movie a 3. Okay?
Good. Yeah. It is totally fine.
I'm also going to give this movie a 3.
Ooh.
I wanted to share a little earlier before we move on. I wrote down some people that tried out for, like, people that like didn't make it in this movie.
Uh-oh.
So listen to this. Jakey Gyllenhaal auditioned for the role of Charlie Conway. Joshua Jackson got it. How about that? And how about this fact that Bill Murray was considered for Gordon Bombay?
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
How about the fact that Juliette Lewis auditioned for the part of Connie?
The fucking girl hockey player? I think
Yeah.
she was a little old by this point.
Well,
Okay.
she auditioned. And finally, listen to this. Leonardo DiCaprio auditioned for the role of Charlie.
I am so happy.
And
that
I
that
gotta
didn't
say, Stephen Herrick, the director of Critters, he
Made
knew
the
who
right
was
choice.
better for this film.
happen. He did. Yeah.
I'm
I
here
agree.
to say that as adults, I think Joshua Jackson's still a better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right. Easy does it. I have no problem with Joshua Jackson and what I've seen him in. Yeah.
He's great. The Affair.
He's certainly a
When They
better
See
kid
Us.
actor.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's right. He is great in that. I forgot that was him.
What, When They
Yes.
See Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
one of the lawyers.
Very good.
Okay, 3, who's your MVP?
I'm going to go with Emilio. He's so earnest.
Emilio's great. All right, I'm going to go with Joshy J, baby.
Totally fine choice. We both picked,
LVP, I think you're right. It's that Ralph Macchio kid.
yeah, I mean, if it wasn't him, it would probably go to the mom, but it's got to be the Ralph Macchio doppelganger.
That's a fair choice, too, man. You're making strong picks today.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, why did you not give this movie a 4, this beloved movie to your heart?
It had a few too many fart jokes. It just felt too much like a bullshit random, like all of these movies from that era. But I genuinely like the characters. I think it's well cast. Stephen Herrick's a pro. And there's good stuff in it. You know, another MVP contender that I want to give a shout out to, I thought the evil coach was really good.
Sure he is, Lane Smith.
That guy's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Don't have fun, you pieces of shit.
Yeah,
you
he's like
better win.
You princes of Maine. He is like an R. Lee Ermey stand-in, and he's good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys for sure.
But he's good. You're
No,
right.
he's great.
I was actually going to mention we didn't even bring him up, but now we did.
Yeah. Okay. Boom. Ducks in the books.
3 stars each, folks.
That's
There you
right.
go. An unexpected for both of us. Yeah. All right. I do have a heavy superhero count.
Oh, do you? Okay.
8.
8. All right. Let's hear it.
Lane Smith as Coach Jack Riley played Perry White in Lois and Clark.
Oh, yes. I can picture that.
I figured you would. Most of these are actually all of these are live action, so that was refreshing for me. The man who played Gerald Ducksworth, Joseph Sumner, was the president of the United States in the best X-Men movie, X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
Sure, he's an old white guy. Good president stand-in. Who's next?
Eldon Henson, of course.
Foggy Nelson.
In Daredevil, that's right. Aaron Schwartz, who played a player named Dave Karp in this.
He's like a really little boy. Like he's tiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore because he plays Young Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
He grew up to be a really handsome guy, and I actually noticed that credit that he was Young Ego, which is the young version of the character played by Kurt Russell.
I am thinking right now as you say it. Now it makes sense.
So my question to the producers of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
why didn't you just get Wyatt Russell?
Oh, his
A
own
very fine actor who is Kurt Russell's son.
No. Probably would have had a bigger price tag.
But you could give him nothing.
What's Wyatt Russell in? Do I know him in anything?
Wyatt Russell, I first saw him in Richard Linklater's Everybody Wants Some, and now he is on the very excellent AMC show Lodge 49.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, next up, we have Eldon Henson's, you said, brother, Garrett Ratliff Henson?
I assumed brother. I didn't actually do any research on that.
Well, you're probably right because he plays young Tom Kimball in the 1990 movie Captain America.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right, who else we got?
We got Marguerite Moreau in the movie as Connie Moreau, not wanting to change that last name for her character. I understand. Method acting. She played Carrie Castle in Smallville.
Oh, man. You know, I read what's it called? An oral history of the Mighty Ducks, and all the bros were like, yo, we were all trying to get with Marguerite Moreau behind the scenes.
Oh, boy.
Because it's just like a whole group of kids that are like just starting to like get boners and like jerk it and kiss, and they were all trying to fuck her. And then like Marguerite Moreau said, like over the course of like 3 movies, like I basically made out with all of them.
Wow. Okay, that's not the answer I was expecting from her.
yeah, it's the anti-Me Too.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
And funny that she said that. All right. Stephen Brill was in this movie as Frank Huddy. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think when he pulls out and he's ready to come, do you think he says to the girl, "You want some of that Brill cream?"
Dan. Dan. I will say what he does say as Gothamite #1. He goes, "It's Batman again, but I'm in Batman Returns, so I'm just not going to get any lines."
Oh, who's in Batman Returns?
Stephen Brill.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And last but not leastly, Judge Weathers was played by an actor named George Coe, and he played William Clark also on Smallville.
Okay, I want to say they had a character with the last name Clark on Smallville. That doesn't seem smart.
Well, it's Smallville.
But the main character's Clark.
I understand that.
Henry, I meant to watch the animated Mighty Ducks for the program today, but I was going to, and then I realized it came after D2 or around the same time as D2, so I'm saving it for next week. I will have a Mighty Ducks animated series report next week.
I'm excited for that, as are our listeners, I'm sure.
I bet. Okay, so next week we'll be covering that, as well as D2 The Mighty Ducks, which is directed by Sam Wiseman, and D3 The Mighty Ducks, which is by a fellow named Robert Lieberman, a Jew.